Berlin, April 1945. The once mighty capital of Hitler's empire was burning. Soviet artillery roared day and night. The streets that once echoed with Nazi parades were now reduced to rubble and silence. And deep beneath that dying city, 40 feet underground, lay the Führerbunker. Inside, Adolf Hitler sat surrounded by the wreckage of his own making. The man who promised a 1,000-year Reich now faced its end after barely 12. As the Red Army surrounded Berlin, Hitler refused to flee. His generals begged him to escape south, to regroup, to survive. But he wouldn't leave. He would die in Berlin, or not at all. The bunker became a world of smoke, fear, and despair. Lights flickered, explosions shook the walls, and Hitler, trembling and hollow-eyed, spent his final days raging at imaginary traitors and armies that no longer existed. On April 22nd, during a final briefing, he snapped, screaming at his generals before collapsing into silence. "Everything is lost," he muttered. "I shall stay in Berlin. I shall fall here." From that moment on, it was no longer about victory. It was about control. Control over his death. Control over his legend. On April 29th, as bombs fell above, Hitler married Eva Braun in a brief ceremony. Witnesses said he looked ghostly, distant, already gone. Afterward, he dictated his final will, blaming the Jews, condemning his generals, and naming his successors. It was his last attempt to shape history before it erased him. Then came April 30th, 1945. Outside, Soviet troops were only a few hundred meters away. Inside, Hitler and Eva shared a final meal, spoke softly, and withdrew to their room. Minutes later, a single gunshot echoed through the bunker. Hitler lay lifeless, a pistol still in his hand. Eva beside him, cyanide on her lips. Together, they had chosen death over surrender. Following his final orders, aides carried their bodies up to the Chancellery Garden, poured gasoline, and set them ablaze. Flames rose into the smoky Berlin air, consuming the man who had once set the world on fire. By the time Soviet soldiers stormed the area, nothing remained but ashes. Yet, from those ashes, rumors were born. If Hitler was dead, where was the proof? The Soviets guarded the truth closely, feeding conspiracy for decades. Stories of submarines, secret hideouts, and escape to Argentina spread across the world. But eventually, the evidence emerged. Fragments of a skull and jawbone recovered from the garden matched Hitler's dental records perfectly. The dictator who dreamed of ruling the world died trapped beneath it. And still, fascination endures. Because Hitler's death wasn't just the fall of a man, it was the collapse of an illusion, a reminder of how absolute power, built on lies and fear, always devours itself in the end. In that cold concrete bunker, the myth of invincibility crumbled. All that remained was a broken man, swallowed by the very fire he unleashed. If this story gripped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Visit our channel for more interesting documentaries like this. History still hides countless secrets beneath its ruins, and together, we'll uncover them. Until next time, stay curious.